I just got a new jump rope. I'm really excited. I got the Evo Go rope. So I didn't even know what the Evo Go rope. I was curious. So essentially, Pat got it too. We're super excited. But if I compare, just for those of you guys who are curious, because I was super curious, the handles are much smaller. So that's really where the difference is gonna be. You'll notice how much smaller, and it's a lot lighter. So when I switched over to the RX Smart Gear rope, the hardest thing I had a problem with was the handle. It was so much bigger than what I was used to, and it was just a little bit heavier. And I felt like my grip would get tired. Now I've adjusted to it, and now I absolutely love it, but they came out with a smaller handle. So we've been practicing and we're trying with that. So we're gonna throw it into our workout today and just kind of see the difference and see what we think. But so far it's the original is my absolute favorite. So the Evo Go has a lot to live up to. I don't know what jump ropes you guys use, but I highly recommend this one, and because the carrying case is cool. But today we are gonna get into some deadlifts. So I've convinced Pat to deadlift with me. He doesn't love deadlifting. We might even pull out some steel plates because I noticed at Wadapalooza they use the steel plates. Then we're gonna do like build to a heavy, then we're gonna go into an EMOM of deadlifting, and then from there, I think we're gonna do a conditioning piece with the Echo Bike and some ring muscle ups, because like I told you a couple weeks back, I'm still not happy with how my ring muscle ups feel. They're not bad, but they need a little bit more TLC. So we're gonna give them a little TLC today. So stick with us, it's gonna be a good day. We're gonna do 10-ish, always ish, because if I'm close to a heavy 5 and 10 minutes is expired, I usually keep going. Or if I'm already there and I don't need 10 minutes, then I just don't take it. So 10-ish, it's a good ballpark. Or add on another 10. Ask Pat. No. So we're gonna do 10-ish minute build to a heavy 5. I haven't done that in a long time. So building to a heavy 5, and then we'll rest, reset. We're gonna take 60%-ish, maybe 65 when I see the numbers, 60%-ish of the heavy 5. And we're gonna knock it down and then do 10-minute EMOM. Minute 1, 10 touch and go deadlifts. Minute 2, 10 to 12 pistols, because I really need to work on pistols. Minute 3, 10 to 12 deadlifts. Minute 4, 10 to 12 pistols for 10-minute EMOM. We'll see how this feels today. We just deadlifted, we took 10 minutes. We were pretty much right at the 10-minute mark, which is usually unheard of. And we built up to a heavy 5 with steel plates. Steel plates are totally different. It's just all around harder. It makes you brace more. You don't get the reflex of the rubber plates on the floor, kind of with that little bit of bounce. You have to stay tighter. It wants to pull you out of position, and I actually really like it. It's just a good change in stimulus, and I think it's good to practice. So if you do show up to a competition and they throw steel plates on the bar, you at least have an idea of what it feels like. I surprised myself. I hit 300 for 5, which is actually pretty good for me. That would be good with steel plates, with bumper plates, with whatever, so I'm pretty pumped about that. We don't deadlift every week, but we do a lot of strength accessory work, and I think that directly transfers into the deadlift, and I can always see that, and it always reminds me that what I'm doing is on the right track for maintaining strength and even getting stronger, even if I'm not deadlifting every single week. So we just reset the clock. We took about 2 minutes here to change our plates. We took about 60% of our 10 rep. It's actually a lot lighter than we expected, but that's because we're doing volume work. So we're gonna do 1 minute, 10 deadlifts with that 60% of what we hit for our 5. And then the next minute, we're gonna work on 12 pistols for efficiency and for skill work. You should not use the whole minute on either of these movements. We should be getting some rest. So we'll see how this goes.
Unbreakable, unstoppable, I push to the edge and take it all. I'm born to be untamable, go right to the edge and never fall. Born with the fire, I'm taking it higher. Unshakable, unstoppable, I push to the edge and take it all.
that was a really fun deadlift piece. So Pat doesn't always love deadlifting. I actually really enjoy it, but deadlifting can really beat you down, can put some pressure on you. It's just heavier lift, right? It's probably one of the heaviest lifts that we do. It should be the heaviest lift we do, most likely. And so it's just knocking your CNS down a little bit. So you might not feel as fresh and recovered, and it might just take a toll on you and be a little bit of a beat down on your system to where like the next day maybe you just don't feel as springy or as spunky or as energized just because of the deadlifting. So that was really fun. We took a strength of his, which is pistol, and a strength of mine, which is deadlifting, and we paired them. So we flipped back and forth. So I focused on working really hard on my pistols and maintaining good deadlift form. He was able to cruise through his pistols and then focus on his deadlifts and being in the right position and using the right muscles to lift the barbell. When I say right muscles, I think the key on the deadlift is just making sure that we're in tight. We don't need a whole lot of thoracic extension at the top. We actually don't want that. We want to stay really, really tight, and our shin should stay relatively vertical, pushing my hips back to get the bar to lower to the ground. So my shin is vertical. I can always wiggle my toes. I'm over the bar, and then I'm driving hard through my heels, squeezing my butt, bringing my hips to the bar at the last second. We don't need to see a lot of chest open at the top. And I think I see that a lot with classes, is people think that they need to push their hips forward and pull their shoulders back, and it's all just wasted energy. You don't need to do that as long as our shoulder stacks out over our hip, which stacks out over our extended knee, which stacks out over our ankle. So keep that in mind. What we're about to do next though, I dropped my board. We're gonna do a workout. I had 4 sets. The boys, Jeff's joining us today, quickly called me out on the numbers that I had written, so we might be doing 3 sets, but something with a calorie echo bike first, into a ring muscle up, because I wanna keep working on those, into a ski, likely into a double under. Each set will probably switch the order of the echo and the ski, just to get the different stimulus into the muscle ups. I'm gonna talk to them and see what they wanna do.
Sick and tired of hearing all these noises in my head. I can't seem to make them go away. Yeah, I'm losing faith in myself, afraid to die and go to hell. Show me the place that I fell down. Pick me up and carry me home to my heart of flesh and to a heart of stone. Build an altar to ourselves, then dance in circles. Sick and tired of hearing all these noises in my head, and I can't seem to make them go away. My dear, sick and tired of hearing you, dear. When you gonna get up and go away? Woo! You know,
That was good. What do you think?
It was a really good workout. Personally, I felt really good on the bike and the ski, but I completely struggled on the muscle ups. My triceps especially just did not hold up to the volume, so it's probably something at least I should be doing more of. But as far as the workout goes, it was really fun, and it was a great workout.
I just kept asking myself, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do an unbroken. And I did the first set unbroken. It's like, okay, second set. It's like, all right, just try again. What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're just gonna come down. So instead of being afraid and like limiting myself from the start, I was trying to ask myself like, okay, what's worst case scenario? You say you wanna do an unbroken and you go A4, or you go 7-5, or whatever. Like, it's not the end of the world, at least I tried. So that mindset was really helpful for me, and I was actually able to do all 4 sets of 12 unbroken, which I don't think I've ever done. So my muscle ups haven't been feeling great, but it feels like just now adding them back in weekly, focusing on them again, they're coming back around. So it's always a good sign and makes me happy. That's all. That feels really good. So I'm just gonna do a cool down stretch. We did the 4 rounds. It's really hard. A lot of upper body pump. It's kind of nice. Sometimes you're like, oh, I was talking to them before about, well, it wasn't really a WOD, but it was a WOD. It was just interval style. So you don't always have to like 3, 2, 1, go, and not have rest in between, I guess. Interval style just kind of helps you focus on specific things. We chose interval style today because we wanted to do high intensity. So having that little bit of a break allowed us to keep our rounds as close to possible instead of just getting lost in the mix of the workout. So for instance, my rounds were all within 5 seconds of each other for the 4 rounds, which I was really happy with. I didn't want to see more than a 5 to 8 second drop off. So I was right at the minimum of what I wanted to see. So I was pretty happy with that. Now I'm just opening up my chest and my triceps, but I think remembering each day should have a different focus. That's what gets us results in CrossFit, and that's why we see the results that we do in the 60-minute workouts is, and I always tell everyone this at the gym, when we program with different stimulus in mind. So Monday, we shouldn't be hitting if we hit a 9 to 12 minute range, we shouldn't be hitting a 9 to 12 minute range on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Maybe Monday, our stimulus is the 7 to 9 minute range. Then that's why we put time caps on the workout, because we don't want our athletes to go above the 9 minutes because we want that specific stimulus. Then maybe Tuesday, we come back and we hit an EMOM or an every 2 minute. So the intensity is through the roof and you're trying to get your work done as fast as possible. Then Wednesday, maybe we're throwing like a 12 to 15 minute range. Thursday, 20 plus minute. You want to constantly keep that variation in your training. And if you're not, then I want you to my opinion, I think you should evaluate your training to make sure you're training all of those different energy systems and getting that constant variation. That's what's going to give you the results. That's what's going to keep your body guessing, and that's how you're going to become the fittest, best version of yourself. So just a little bit of food for thought. I think we do a pretty good job of that. I keep spreadsheets of everything. So whether it's IBEX 60, whether it's my personal programming, whether it's CrossFit Polaris programming, that's probably the accountant in me from prior to being involved with CrossFit, but keeping those spreadsheets so it's really clear for me to see, okay, we've already hit this domain, we need to be hitting other domains, and that's how people are going to get stronger, better, and fitter. And I use that same approach with myself. If you're curious about our programming, click the links in the bio or description below. There is no bio. Just click those, check it out. We offer some really awesome stuff. Stay tuned because I'm going to bring you my favorite banana bread recipe and some healthy desserts next. I hope you enjoyed and have a great day.